Hello everybody, Erica here with One Berkshire, and we are here with another Women in Business interview. And I'm standing, first of all, I'm standing inside Hotel on North, and I'm very excited because I'm standing next to Karen Hunt, who is the architect who designed Hotel on North. So we're in for a treat here with today's Women in Business interview because we're going to get to hear from the architect herself. And if you stick around till the end, we're going to go to a secret room inside of Hotel on North, and it's pretty spectacular. I've gotten to see it, so you want to hang around for that. So hello, Karen.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So I want to start, in this case, tell us kind of where we are right now. What is this backdrop we're all looking at?
Right now we're in the North building. Hotel on North is made up of two old buildings from the 1880s. And
they all had former lives.
Right. They have all had former lives. And we're in the North building, which has totally tall ceilings. And what we did is we brought an atrium right down the middle of the room to get light right in and circled the hotel rooms around the outside.
I want to see if I can capture this. Okay, so around the outside are all the hotel rooms, so you can start to see them kind of around the edges of this atrium. But you'll notice, like, this thing has a hole right down to the first floor. We're on the second floor?
We're on the second.
Yeah, we're on the second floor.
And we're on the third floor.
Oh, we're on the third. Okay, so this second is down here,
right.
And then up here, if you can see it, is this gorgeous skylight. And this is kind of your thinking on this, right?
Yeah,
like
well, we have these two really square buildings, and you know, you can only get so many hotel rooms on the outside, then you're stuck with two interior spaces that you know, what are you going to do with them?
Right.
And in our south building, we made little cocoon conference spaces, so they're, you know, they're lower ceilings, they're tighter, they're cozy. And on the north building, where the ceilings were high, we blew it to open to the sky.
It's amazing.
So
the lighting in here is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, look how good we look with this lighting. Okay, so you were telling me about the choices of design that you used. Tell me about this railing.
Well, the idea of the Hotel on North, it was like to put industrial, you know, the old GE industrial, kind of bring that back to life. But on the same hand, you know, you got the warm wood of the floor.
Yep.
So what we did is we collaborate. The collaboration on this hotel was amazing. You know, starting with Main Street Hospitality, which is our, you know, did the interiors, and they did an amazing job. But then all of the we had local artisans do the vanities, do the railings, do all the light fixtures, and they're all local artists. So their work is highlighted here.
Let's actually, can we walk over to that thing?
Yeah.
Because that is really cool looking. And by the way, behind me, you can see one of the little lobby areas or gathering areas that if you were on this floor, you could use. Okay, so this is like a signature piece.
This is a signature
of Hotel on North.
No, this is signature
for
Main Street Hospitality
Right.
Group.
So
and
fill
they're
us in on that.
Lights, and they used to be on the old TVs back in the day, and they're lights that you would find. And Nancy Fitzpatrick, who, you know, is the Main Street Hospitality's founder, is, you know, and all of her properties, you know, the porches and all of her properties that she has TV lights. And so this was her display, that she went out and found all of those pieces, and you know, and
it's very cool.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your story now. So have you been in architect your whole life?
I have.
Oh, you have? And did you just know you wanted to be an architect when you were, like, how did you find this career path?
Well, I grew up in a construction family.
Okay.
You know, and I loved to draw, and I loved math.
Nice.
So when I was deciding to go to college, I was trying to decide what I wanted to be, because I had no idea what I wanted to be.
Of course, yeah.
But, you know, my dad suggested, you know, architecture, because it was art and math put together.
Nice.
So,
and have you found that to be true as you've studied it? Does
yeah,
that
I think,
true?
you know, it does feel true. There's a real artistic side of it, but there's a real practical side of it. And
so you get to use both halves of your brain, which
exactly.
is very fun.
Exactly.
And then, so how'd you get kind of like, what's been the path since you finished school?
So when I finished school, I went to work in the big cities, Chicago, Los Angeles, and for the big companies, you know, and had great training with the big corporate companies in the big cities. And coming, you know, I'm from Pittsfield.
Oh, you're from the Berkshires. Okay, great.
Yeah, and so from going from Pittsfield to living in Chicago was like amazing.
Culture shock,
and
but
also amazing for architecture.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Do you know?
I actually took an architecture boat tour through the lake or river or whatever it is right there in Chicago. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So architecture there, and you know, I didn't have a car, so I would walk to work, and I just walked down Michigan Avenue, the Mag Mile, and watched the shops change, and it was just like a whole new world, right?
Wow.
So
for a girl from Pittsfield.
Yeah, for a girl from Pittsfield,
nice.
it was like amazing, right? And then I got married, and we went to Los Angeles, and that was a whole different
You've been everywhere.
Thing. Yeah, and then I had children.
Okay.
Right, and then I worked with my children being little until the third one. And then I said, time out, I'm going to be a mom.
Okay.
Right?
So you kind of paused your career.
I paused my career, and then I was, it's a privilege to be able to be home, to be, if you choose.
Yeah.
So I had like 5 or 6 years home with just being a mom, and that was awesome. And then I just started putting a project back in at a time. And my husband's career moved us a lot of places, so I just had my own little business, and I would just pick up a couple of projects, wherever we lived. We lived in Phoenix, we lived in Cleveland, we've lived a lot of places. But then it was my husband, we were going to move to Boulder for his career, and I said, my kids were at New York University, and
so they were out of the house.
They were out of the house and back east, and we were in Phoenix, and it was like, do you want to go to Boulder? And I said, let's go back
to the Berkshires.
Back to the Berkshires.
And so you had some sway in that decision,
And so I have my practice here, and it's great to be home. And this project here is a family project.
Nice.
My brother David and my sister-in-law are the primary owners of the building, and they're the builders of the building. And
you're the architect.
Yeah, so it was a big family project. And it was also great because, with Main Street Hospitality, Nancy Fitzpatrick's family was a big part of this. So it was a family project.
2 families together,
awesome.
collaborating. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we have a special treat to show people.
Yeah.
Okay, and so there's a secret room here. It's not so secret. You can rent this room.
Right.
But it's a very special room. There's only one like it in the whole hotel.
Right.
Okay, do you want to say anything about it, or should we just go in?
Well, we can go in, and it's a room that was here.
Okay.
A part of it was here.
And before this was a hotel, it was here.
Yes, it was here. It was the previous owner's private office.
And so instead of wreck it,
get
rid of it,
we just
enhanced it. Okay, and when we say enhance, like, you're going to be blown away by this room. What is this room called if you were to want to call and use it?
It's called the library suite.
It's called the library suite. So when you walk in, you get kind of this first sitting area out here. And I have to point out, because this is one of my favorite parts, there are these really funky jackets on the wall. So Karen, come tell us, what's the story of this jacket?
Well, the jackets are, the buildings were the old Bessie Clark's, the Bessie Clark clothing store here in Pittsfield, which was here for years and years and years and years, and it was a men's store.
Okay.
And so the jackets are reminiscent to the men's store.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go into the library, because this is only the beginning of the suite. This suite is about to open up and blow your mind. So the library suite is just covered floor to ceiling with books and bookcases. It really does go all the way to the ceiling. But you can also sleep in here, because look at this. Then there's a bed, a gorgeous bed. And so tell us, from the eye of an architect, how would you describe this space?
Well, this space is they use this this space is for a treasure, but they use it a lot for weddings, where the bride would come and get ready for,
which makes sense, because as I'm looking over here, there's even a little kitchenette in there. It looks like a little kitchenette, and then this must be like a pretty snazzy bathroom, I'm guessing. Yeah. Yep, that's a pretty snazzy bathroom. So so a lot of space.
A lot of space, and what we love about this room is, it really plays on our whole project was, opposites. Like we have the hard brick wall behind the bed, but then we have the beautiful soft comfort.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can tell this in the camera, but this is like super soft headboard and super soft sheets to play off of the hard lines of.
And all the furniture throughout the hotel was handpicked by Main Street Hospitality. They went out and they bought, they found all of the pieces, so none of the pieces are like the same.
Wow. Yeah, they're very talented designers.
Yeah. So that's kind of a cool thing.
And the other cool thing about this room, come over here, Karen, because the other cool thing about this room is the view. Because we are really on North Street, hotel on North. So you can see out the window, there's the YMCA right across the street. So we're right here in the primo spot.
Exactly.
All right, so tell me I want to ask you a few more questions. Let's have this as a background, because that's really pretty. So talk to me about, if you were to put on your mentoring hat, some words of wisdom that you might share with everyone who's watching right now.
I think the thing that I've learned a lot, and I learned a lot about through this, culminating on this project, is to, be the paradox of being committed and unattached. So you're committed to the project, but you're not so attached that it has to be a particular way, so that you're sure to get the surprises and that pop up and the things that you can plan on if you were so rigid that it had to be a particular way.
And you're speaking of surprises as if they're a good thing.
Yes.
A lot of project managers would not want any surprises at all, because that's just going to be chaos. But you're saying, is there a way to appreciate the positive side of a surprise.
Yeah, exactly. So that was kind of, that's what, and, you know, that's what I would say. No, in as far as in any industry, you know, commitment, but also be unattached to that has to be a particular way.
That's great advice. I could learn from that advice. And so there's something about you that I really admire, and I want to make sure that people who are watching also know this about you, because you have a side passion that you really work on, and it's a way that you give back to people in the community. And I want to hear just a bit about that work you do on the side.
Well, what I do is I work with teens and young people, and I do programs for teens and young people in the large cities around the world. And I travel and I participate with the young people and teens working on their lives and what's important to them and where they get stopped, and that's what I do outside of architecture.
And it's a powerful program. I mean, this is a program that typically will like take their life and really shake it up for them, but then help them see clearly kind of what they're doing. So you're almost kind of like a mentor counselor in that work.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, yeah.
And you made a comment earlier about how even though it seems very different than your work, it's design one way or another.
It's you know what I love about architecture is design of buildings, design of place. I love a hotel on North because it's a place, right? So you design a place or you design a space. But what I do when I work with the young people and the teens is design of human being and what it is to be a human being, and you know what's the inherent design of human being, how you get stopped, and how how to free yourself when you get stopped. So it's all design.
Nice. Can you shout out that program just in case anybody watching this has a teenager at home who might benefit from?
The program is it's a company called Landmark, and they're in the big cities all over the world, and they have programs for adults. But you know, I participate with the young people and teens because that's just a passion of mine.
Excellent. So let's end with one more question. We'll just kind of leave this room as we're ending here. I want to know other women in business in the Berkshires who inspire you.
Well, you know what I'd like to, you know, just say for this building, it was just, you know, it was such a treasure to work for Nancy Fitzpatrick, work with her, and you know what I learned from her was just priceless on this project. You know, she's done 1 million buildings and she's done a lot of properties and really high, you know, beautiful things, and the thing that I learned from her, which I will always cherish, is when something doesn't look exactly the way you expect it to look, she always could take a twist and make it quirky or make it into some special thing that you never saw.
Right.
So that kind of ties back to what I was saying about the surprises.
Right.
So for me, she was, you know, and then just her
like
her
the mistake.
diligence.
It's not a mistake. It's a quirky opportunity.
It's an opportunity.
Yeah.
And just her, finding all the furniture and doing all that she contributed to the project was really. Just, you know, she's a woman, you know, that just has done really great things in the Berkshires.
Awesome. Well, and as have you. So thank you so much for being on our Women in Business interview today. This is Karen Hunt, the architect, Hotel on North. She's also done some work at Tanglewood.
Yep.
And you've probably seen her work in a lot of places around the Berkshires, and you just might not know it because that's how architects go. They're behind the scenes a little bit.
Yep.
But thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your story and for showing us that special room because that's pretty amazing.
Well, thanks.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.